Hey Bears News Fan Report diehards. Have you ever felt that electric tingle in your gut when you know your team's about to unleash something special? Hit that like button and subscribe if you believe the Chicago Bears are on the brink of discovering a hidden gem who could rewrite our offensive playbook. Imagine an overlooked slot receiver quietly mastering every nuance of the NFL, putting in the extra hours while the rest of the league sleeps. Could this be the spark that finally ignites our aerial attack? Picture a player who, despite flying under the radar, flashes elite separation skills on film, shows uncanny route precision in training camp, and possesses the kind of soft hands that turn contested catches into highlight reels. What if the next breakout star isn't a shiny first-round pick, but rather the quiet soul working behind the scenes, waiting for the spotlight to hit him full on? The Bears have felt the sting of missed opportunities in clutch moments, the frustration of defenses crowding the box against our run game, and the endless search for that trustworthy target who can stretch the field and carve open seams and zones. Could that missing piece be hiding in plain sight on our own roster? Think back to last season's preseason flashes. Was that flicker of chemistry with Justin Fields merely a mirage, or the prelude to something much greater? When you watch this receiver shake off press coverage with a sudden burst or slip, past nickel defenders with a quick-cut mastery that defied his draft status, did you catch a glimpse of potential greatness? Some insiders whisper that he studied under the best position coaches, absorbing every technique and mental adjustment like a sponge. Others marvel at his uncanny ability to read defenses pre-snap, anticipating matchups and adjusting his leverage before the ball is even snapped. Could this level of football IQ be the secret weapon that helps Fields finally unlock the deep ball and finally give Chicago fans the explosive plays we've hungered for? Now, don't let the modest stat sheet fool you. Last year, he hauled in a handful of garbage time catches and delivered a couple of crucial third down conversions. But scouts say his tape tells a different story. Crisp breaks, fluid hip transitions, and the rare instinct that separates good receivers from true playmakers. Is it possible that, shielded by the Bears' depth chart shuffle and the offensive turbulence, he's been quietly honing his craft, plotting his ascent? And when opportunity knocks, could he seize the moment so decisively that defenses have no choice but to game plan around him? Imagine sandwiching opposing secondaries between our ground game and this slot assassin, forcing them to reveal their hand. Do you see how that could open the floodgates for a completely revamped scoreboard? The coaching staff has reportedly raved about his attitude in meetings, his leadership in walkthroughs, and the way he pushes veterans to refine their technique. Could that hunger and drive be the culture shift the locker room needs, the spark that transforms us from rebuild mode into playoff contenders? And here's the kicker. What if this revelation coincides with a revamped Bears offense centered around our rookie quarterback sensation? Could their synergy become the stuff of legend, with this underdog receiver emerging as the story everyone talks about? Stay tuned, because when we unveil exactly who this underappreciated asset is, you'll understand why the entire league might have been sleeping on him, and why Chicago is about to wake the football world with a breakout performance that could define our season. Asterisk if you believe the Bears are on the cusp of a revelation. Smash that like button and let's finish this ride together. Now that we've laid the groundwork, it's time to pull back the curtain and name the hidden gem who's been quietly sharpening his blade. Olide Zakos. Yes, the former Eagles slot ace turned Bear quietly checked every box this off-season elite. Quickness in tight spaces, film study obsession, and the kind of hands that turn high-pressure grabs into routine highlights. Imagine the electric shock through Soldier Field when Zakos, lining up in the slot, jukes a linebacker in man coverage, glides to daylight, and turns a short hitch into a 25-yard gain that flips field position before you can say monsters of the midway. Think back to past Bears heroes who emerged from obscurity, Walter Payton's humble beginnings, Cade McNown's underdog tale, even Cameron Meredith's brief but thrilling breakout Zakos is poised to join that lineage. Last year in Philadelphia, He posted 15 catches for 165 yards and a touchdown. But those flash moments don't capture his true value. In college at Virginia, he racked up over 2,000 receiving yards across 3 seasons, demonstrating a nose for finding soft spots in zone coverage and a toughness that belied his 5'9" frame. Could this be the self-made narrative arc we've craved? The story of a player who's been biding his time, perfecting his craft, waiting for the right offense to unlock his potential? Chicago's new scheme under Coach Johnson appears tailored for players like Zakos slot specialists who can beat leverage, convert on 3rd and long, and provide a safety valve that stretches defenses horizontally and vertically. Envision the strategic possibilities with Justin Fields' arm strength and evolving play action. Zakos' sudden releases and rapid acceleration could force nickel corners into impossible decisions, shadow him up the seam, or play the run. You'd see linebackers hesitate, safeties freeze, and the entire defense wobble as Fields sends a bullet through the vacated zone. In an era when every yard counts, having a Swiss Army knife receiver who can seamlessly shift between inside and outside sets would flip our game scripts. Remember that wild card win back in 2010 when Devin Hester's pivot route in the slot set up the game-winning field goal? That type of clutch versatility is exactly what Zakos brings, an explosive option that can turn tight contests into decisive victories. This isn't just fantasy. Rival teams have already taken note. Rumors out of Hollis Hall speak of back-channel talks between Zakos and the coaching staff, where he's been grilled on route trees, coverage recognition, and even special teams roles. Sources claim he's dazzled veteran receivers in meetings with his polished footwork drills and relentless film room questions. Could this be the spark that ignites the locker room's competitive fire, motivating even seasoned veterans to sharpen their own skills? When a teammate's work ethic shines that brightly, it spreads. And when the Chicago faithful hears Zakos' name called after a spectacular catch on opening night against the Packers, the roar of approval might just drown out Lambeau's silent laments. But let's temper the hype with reality. Slot receivers often face the brunt of pounding inside the box, small windows, heavy hits, and little margin for error. Zakos must prove he can sustain his burst over a full 17-game schedule, absorb punishment from linebackers, and still carve out space late in the fourth quarter. Will he avoid the sophomore slump that has felled many hopefuls? Can he maintain his focus under the bright lights and relentless expectations of Chicago's storied fan base? The front office's decision to sign him to a modest 1-year prove-it deal suggests confidence tempered by caution, a low-risk investment with sky-high upside. If Zakos hits double-digit receptions in a game or tears the roof off during a primetime performance, this gamble could pay dividends far beyond his cap hit. Picture the transformation. A Bears offense where defenses can't overcommit to the run because they fear Zakos slicing through their seams, where 3rd down conversions become routine rather than rare, and where Fields can unleash his improvisational flair, knowing his safety valve is an unheralded playmaker ready to erupt. It's the kind of offensive identity shift that could signal the end of rebuilding chatter and mark the dawn of genuine contention. For a fan base that's endured decades of near misses and what-ifs, Zakos' breakout could be the narrative we cling to, the underdog fable that rekindles belief. So here we stand, on the precipice of a breakout season defined by a hidden jewel no longer hidden, a story fueled by perseverance, skill, and timely opportunity. Will Olide Zakos seize the moment and etch his name alongside the great Bears legends? Or will this season become another footnote in the long search for playmakers? Only time and that first electrifying grab will tell. But one thing's for certain. When Zakos lines up in the slot this fall, the world will finally see why the Bears' hidden gem might just shine the brightest of them all.